Thank you, Chair. The Constitution determines that the first and primary responsibility of the President as our head of state and the executive is simply this: to uphold, defend, and respect the Constitution as the supreme law of the Republic. It must therefore follow that Parliament, in holding the President to account, must firstly monitor, as robustly as is necessary, whether the President upholds the Constitution and the law. But Parliament can also never escape from the duty we have to ask the difficult questions to all involved in the type of mess we are discussing. The Honourable Horn says members of Parliament are not sober enough to consider this properly. Chair, let me say this to him and all other members who feel they're not up to the task. They can step aside. Honourable members, Chairperson, also consider this. The official oversight and accountability model of Parliament clearly states that in the event of transversal issues, which we clearly have here, an ad hoc committee is the most suitable oversight and accountability vehicle. Not surprisingly, Chair, some argue that setting up an ad hoc committee now would be excessive and unnecessary given the appointment of the Section 89 panel of experts. But apart from the limited scope and the sole focus on the President, which this process has, this Section 89 process is exactly the type of process that will be primarily dependent on findings of fact and law already made by other institutions, the type of findings of which there is really nothing to speak of yet. Chair, the Leader of the Opposition has convincingly argued, specifically on the basis of the well-considered guidance given to Parliament in the Zondo report, that we may not, under any circumstances, even consider delaying our own investigation to await the outcome of other investigations. Of course, we've already seen and heard the President in this House refusing to answer questions on this issue, clearly expecting of us to do just that, to delay until it suits him. Honourable members, and specifically the Speaker and presiding officers of this House, let us remind you of the constitutionally enshrined privilege that members of Parliament and of the Executive enjoy, determining that they could never face criminal proceedings, arrest, imprisonment, or damages for anything that they say, produce, or submit during proceedings of Parliament. A double-edged sword, which makes it clear that there is simply no basis on which the President should be allowed to not answer any questions posed to him in Parliament. And Chair, there are so many questions. Questions like, what happened to the announcement in 2014 when the President assumed office as Deputy President that business interests like the one the President has in Phala Phala was to be placed in a so-called blind trust managed by independent professionals, and that he would not be giving any instructions regarding the management of these interests, all to best protect the President against allegations that he, through his businesses, may fail to uphold the law? How did it then happen that the President seemingly became or stayed involved in the day-to-day operations of Phala Phala? A fact not only indicated by the scant information we have on the theft, but also by the fact that Mr. Ramaphosa used the Presidency and its website in November 2020 to refute allegations then made against Phala Phala by Peter about trophy hunting. Involvement which now has the consequence that it could probably be blamed for the apparent breach of the exchange control regulations, which requires prior permission to receive payment in foreign currency and requires foreign currency to be declared and sold to an accredited dealer within 30 days of receipt. Also, was the failure to adhere to exchange control rules and the break-in and theft reported to the relevant authorities? If so, when? What have they done since then? And if not, why not? Did the President allow his protection unit to embark on an investigation and manhunt aimed at apprehending the perpetrators? And if this was done without his knowledge, what did he do when he learned of these abuses? Were former members of staff at Phala Phala paid to secure their silence on the event? And if so, who took the decision to do so? Was the President aware and involved? And if not, what did he do when he became aware of this? Did the President discuss this matter with his Namibian counterpart at the time, with a request that the matter and any assistance given by Namibia be treated confidentially? Is 15 months really the standard time it takes the Department of Justice to determine that a request for mutual legal assistance does not meet the required standards, as was the case when dealing with the request from Namibia on this matter? Is the NPA and its Special Investigative Unit guiding the belated investigation into this matter by the Hawks? If not, why not? Given that everything known about this matter screams out that this is the type of case that must be carefully investigated and guided. Chair, We implore all members who are serious about their office to support this proposal so that we can get answers to these questions. I thank you.